Hello and welcome to part 1 of automating document workflows with Cradl AI. In this tutorial, we're going to do something very exciting. You're going to create an AI model that will understand your documents and extract the data that you want from them. So if you're an enterprise or a small business and you receive hundreds of thousands of invoices, receipts, bills of lading, order confirmations, any kind of document, your model will be able to extract the data that you want from them automatically so that you never have to do that kind of work again manually. It's going to save you tons of time and it's going to make your life a lot easier. Sounds impressive, right? Well, I can't wait to show you how it's done. So let's get right into the tutorial. The first thing we're going to have to do is to create a free Cradl AI account, and you can do that by clicking Get Started. I already have a free account, so go through the setup process and meet me here inside the app. Inside the app, the first thing we'll do is to create a new model, so click New Model, then go to Setup Model, and here we're faced with 3 decisions that we have to make. The first one is to name our model. The second one is to choose whether we want to start with a model from scratch or with a template. And the third decision is to choose what kind of data we want to extract from our documents. Regarding the name, I'm going to make a model that will extract data from my invoices that I get from various suppliers. So I'm going to call this for invoice model. In regards to whether you should start from scratch or start with a template, that really depends on your document. So if you look at my dummy invoices, there's certain pieces of information that I absolutely do want. I want who the invoice is from, I want the total amount, I want the date, and so on. So if I can find a template that has fields similar to what I just mentioned, then I would start with a template because templates will give you better results out of the box. While starting from scratch, you have to define every field yourself, so it takes a bit more time. Now I'm doing invoices, and invoices is a very common type of document. So we already have a pre-trained template for that. And going through the fields, I can see that I want most of them. Let's say I don't want IBAN, so then I'll just get rid of that. And I'll also get rid of line items. Now, if there's something in the template that is missing that I would like to have, then I can just add a field and you can select what kind of type you want. There's a couple of ones to choose from. String is regular text, or text, a mix of text and numbers. Amounts is for quantities and amounts. Dates are for dates. Numerics is for any kind of number. It does not accept characters. Line items is it's basically tabular data. So if you have a list of products with an associated price, for example, that's a line item. And finally, we have classification, which is very interesting. It's actually, if there's something that's not on your document but still important to you, then you use classification. So an example of that is currency. Sometimes your invoices will just have the total amount. It won't tell you what the total amount's currency is. And then you would just go ahead and add that in your classification field. Anyway, I want to keep things simple, so I'm not going to use that. And in general, you want to start with what you really need versus what is nice to have, because you can always add the nice to haves later. So this looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and create this model. Then we're going to wait while it sets up. So what we just did now, we just defined the fields that we want our model to look for. What we're going to do now is to actually train it on those fields. All right, we can see that our AI model has been populated. We have our fields down here. We have a data set, which is currently empty, and we're going to do something about that. Technically, you can test your model right now on a document by clicking run and uploading here and following the steps. And I recommend that you do that just to get a feel for the process. But we want to tailor the model to your documents for best results. So we recommend that you upload at least 15 sample documents. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to upload a demo document and show you how we're going to annotate it, which is basically to tell the AI model where to look on the document for the fields we defined. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how that works right now. The supplier name is Musica Inc. So we're going to type that. We type it exactly as we see it. Invoice number or invoice ID, IN 023. The invoice dates 27/03/2020. The due date 04/04/2020. The VAT 756, and the total 7056. So that's what it means to annotate a document, and that was one of 15. So we're going to do another 14. I'll show you one more, and then I'll do the rest off camera, so we're not going to waste anybody's time. I'm going to upload another demo invoice. There we go. Supplier name, logo Ipsum Co. Invoice ID, INV-0002. Invoice date, 02 Jan 2023. Again, remember that we write it exactly as we see it on the document. VAT. Well, this one has something called GST. Let's pretend, because often you'll have documents where some item is missing, so you'll pretend that VAT is missing, in which case you write nothing, and the total amount is 672. So what I would do, because VAT is missing, that means I'm going to have 14 documents with VAT, not 15, in which case I would compensate by uploading one more document, which is 16 in total, to make sure that I have 15 of every single field. All right, I'm now done with annotating my documents. And as you can see here, I did 22 instead of 15. 15 is not a magic number, and I imagine it might be lowered in the future. It's just like a general guideline of how many documents you would like to, how much instruction you want to give to your AI for your effort to be worthwhile. And I landed on 22 because I was missing a few fields, so I had to compensate for that. But now that we're done, let's go and start training. Here's a summary of your annotation stage. 100% means that I have 22 of those, and some of them was a bit less. Green check mark means that you have the minimum requirement of every field, which at the time of recording is 15. All right, we're ready for training, so let's do that. Training means that you basically don't have to do anything. You can go away for 20 minutes to an hour, because now your AI model is being created and trained based on your data. So this will run for a while, and then we'll continue when it's over. All right, training is now complete, and we're ready to see our scores. And the scores are very interesting because they will let us know whether we need to train some more or if we're good to go to actually start applying our model to real documents. And I can tell immediately that this must have gone very well, because I got a 96% total accuracy. That's actually very good. And all of these fields are green. It's not uncommon to have a yellow field, in which case you would like to go back and train on a few more documents, but this looks very good. So that means we can finally get started with the fun part, which is to apply our model to real documents. And in order to do that, we're going to go back to our flows builder and click on run. Now it's time to upload some real documents, because this is not a test anymore. And what I've done is that Telia and HubSpot, they're two different companies. And during my annotation stage, I annotated about 4 to 5 Telia invoices. So my AI model has a bit of familiarity with them, whereas it has never seen a HubSpot invoice before. So I expect that I should get very good results on the Telia invoice, whereas on the HubSpot invoice, I might have some errors, which suggests that I should do a bit more training on HubSpot invoices. It's always a good idea to start training on your high volume invoices, because that will give you the most value. So now the AI model just completed the upload, and you can inspect the predictions by clicking here. And this is kind of the big moment we've all been waiting for, to see if it's extracted the data correctly. So never mind the black area here. That's just my name that's been blacked out. All right, so we see a lot of green, which means that the AI model is certain that it got, things quite right. By default, there's a confidence threshold of 95%. So if it's more sure than 95%, it will automatically export to your export destination if you've set that up. If it's below 95%, it will ask for a human to inspect the output before it, exports it so that you don't get any errors. And you can adjust these levels as you like. Now, let's have a look. How did this go? Supplier name, that's Telia, so that's correct. Invoice ID, that's faktura nummer in Norwegian, and that looks correct. Invoice date should be the 15th of July 21. That is correct. The due date, these dates are all ISO formatted, by the way. The due date is 2nd of August 21. Correct. VAT, that's the Norwegian, or should be 51.41, which is MVA in Norwegian. And that's correct. And then you have the total amount, which is 257.03. That's correct. So our model did very good. Well done, model. You can also inspect the JSON output, which you might want to, export to your other apps or integrations, later. Now, let's have a look at the HubSpot invoice. And we can immediately tell that this is something that the AI model we made struggled a bit more with. And let's have a look on what went right and what went wrong. So the supplier name is obviously incorrect, and the model is also very uncertain of its prediction. So instead of HubSpot, it has, CO Dublin, Ireland, which, is over here. And, one of the reasons for that might be that, the HubSpot logo has, some graphical elements on it. So it would need a bit more of the supplier name training just to get that right. So you could either do HubSpot or you could do HubSpot Ireland Ltd. And later, I'm going to show you how you would, correct this output, and so that in your next training, your model wouldn't make the same mistake. So let's have a look at invoice ID. That looks correct. Invoice date should be the 14th of December. That's correct. And the due date should be the 13th of January 24. That's correct. VAT should be 0. That is correct. And the total amount, it didn't actually get quite right. It was quite close. Let's have a look. It always predicts 3 values, and it chooses one of them, so you can see if it actually had one of them in there. And we can tell that it had the correct answer, but it wasn't the one it was most certain of. So we should give it a bit more training there as well. But in general, we can tell that the generic fields, it got quite well. Whereas, the more special fields like the supplier name, it needs a bit more training. So what we're going to do now, we're going to improve this document we're going to improve our model. That's what we're going to do. So you're going to open this document in the validator. And in this interface, it allows us to make corrections. So I'm going to write, you could either do HubSpot or HubSpot Ireland Ltd, which I'm going to do. Can I click you? No, I can't. All right. Ireland Ltd, and I'm gonna mirror document as closely as possible, and then we're also going to change the total amount, which was a little bit off. There we go. Now everything is correct. We're going to validate that, and this one has no errors, so we're just going to validate that too. So the next time, that's for another tutorial, I'm going to show you how to, improve your model over time, but it's actually very simple. You do what I just did. You find a document with errors, you open the validator, you correct the mistakes, and then you retrain the model, which is basically just clicking a button. Yes, so there you have it. We now have a document AI document parser that extracts your data. This tutorial has been it's been like a proof of concept, just to show you that how this works and how you can start quickly getting results. And then in the future, I think we should have a few tutorials on how to take this into a production setting, where you have optimized your model for your documents, where you have an automatic flow, where import, when you have an import event, you will automatically scan a document and export to a destination, and so on. But I hope this will be helpful to you when you start playing around with your own documents, and I hope to see you in a future tutorial. Have a good day, and bye for now.